think the key to the War of 1812 in Western New York is this. It's that moment when history stops here.
The War of 1812 played a significant role in the history of Western New York. Matthew Taboni sat down with Doug Kohler, a volunteer at the Buffalo History Museum and a specialist in the War of 1812, and explained how Buffalo was impacted by the war. This is what he had to share.
Transportation is going to be by water, so that puts Buffalo at the front again, because you've got Lake Erie, 36 miles separates Lake Erie from Lake Ontario here on the Niagara frontier. So that means that control of the lakes are going to hinge around what happens in Western New York.
Tensions were high during the War of 1812 and led to the entire city of Buffalo and its surroundings being burnt to rubble.
As far as the burning of Buffalo goes, that's less about strategy, more about revenge. The British begin to just simply burn their way down the Niagara frontier. They capture in short order what is Lewiston. They burn Manchester, which is today Niagara Falls. The only reason they're not in Buffalo in days is because as they retreat, the Canadian volunteers burn the bridges across Tonawanda Creek, and that slows the British up. They've got to go back to the Canadian side, find boats, come back, and then on December 30th they cross and they burn Buffalo.
With Buffalo being burned, it allowed for the city to be the ending point of the Erie Canal.
We take for granted that Buffalo will be the terminus of the canal. It's a back and forth thing between Buffalo and Black Rock, and also a fact that from Black Rock to the open water of Lake Erie is not an easy transit. You're pulling against the current in very difficult waters. Then one of the engineers went, wait, if we take the canal all the way to Buffalo, we connect it to the Buffalo River and to Lake Erie, we can actually water the canal from the lake. So they dug the canal from Buffalo to Tonawanda at such a grade that a drop of so many inches over so many feet, that they could actually fill the canal with water from Lake Erie and control it that way, which was not something they could have done from Black Rock. And I think that's made possible because of the War of 1812. And the city is built with an intent that it will be now sort of the business center, the focus, because the canal will now come to Buffalo, and the citizens are sure that as they rebuild, they can make that happen. I think in the long run, we have for so long focused on what's wrong with Buffalo. Certainly in the last 50 years, the burning of Buffalo gets lumped in with McKinley's assassination and the missed field goal in the Super Bowl. And it becomes one more thing where we tend to look at it and go, woe is us. We couldn't even defend our own village in 1813. When I think we're looking at it the wrong way. There's no way that Buffalo is going to be defended successfully. So to suggest that there was a shortcoming in the militia, is ridiculous. I think we need to look at it in the sense that it was going to happen regardless, and that it positioned us then to rebuild, to become the city that we were for well over 100 years.